Hello, 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 hello. We are live. I was just confirming it, making sure. Welcome to another live stream, Face to Facts Friday Vegan News Roundup live stream in particular. We have got a lot of stories today, guys, and honestly, it's going to get a little bit dramatic. Like some of these stories aren't nice, all right? They're controversial and not necessarily in a fun way at points, all right? So just be prepared for some weird shit. Now, today I'm going to try something a little bit different, actually. In the last live streams we've been doing together, you may have noticed that we've had quite a lot of interaction. Like, it's been really cool for me to interact with you and then you to be able to interact back with me and all this great stuff. So I've got a bit of an idea today. Excuse me, I'm burping away. if if there are any news stories that you really want me to cover today, right now, at this moment, if you actually want me to talk about a story you want me to talk about, we can do that, but you got to pay to play. All right. So if you want that to happen, if you want me to cover a story that you want me to cover, you've got to tell me via a super chat or a Streamlabs contribution. The link is in the pinned comment and in the description for the Streamlabs link. All right. So all you got to do, click that link. By the way, if you donate, if you contribute through Streamlabs, it takes less of a cut. So I get more of the donation. YouTube takes a bigger cut. So it's better to use that. But if you've got a story, you want me to cover it, then you could do it that way, right? So just click the link, type in your story, make the contribution, donation, whatever you want to call it, tip, and I'll get it up. It'll pop up on the screen, and I'll cover whatever story you wanted to talk about, as long as it's like relevant to animal rights and veganism. Need to make sure we're clear on that. As long as it's relevant to animal rights and veganism. All right. So that being said, let's jump into the first story, shall we? Let's see what Gordon Ramsay's been up to now. It's, like, this is not necessarily a new story, by the way. This story with Gordon Ramsay, it's just funny, right? It's just funny. Let me show you what we're talking about here. So check this out, right? This is a website called Ag Daily. Now, this website, what they do is it's an animal ag website. They cover animal ag stories and you know all the kind of stuff, animal ag related stuff, and there's a little video here that they've put together. Like this is just what they're about, all right? They're all about animal ag and yeah, it's their content. Now, check it out. They've put up this post: Gordon Ramsay schools a vegan activist and supports farmers. Now, on the surface, you're like, all right, this is interesting. What is this, something new? It's nothing new, but check out what they've said. So, talking about social media, talking about Chef Gordon Ramsay and that vegan teacher, the vegan animal rights extremist who calls herself that vegan teacher. And they put this, like, it's a fake tweet. So it says here, like, Gordon Ramsay, I love being vegan. Vegan teacher, thank you so much for being vegan. Gordon Ramsay, April Fool's bitch. It's not real, you can see, because user, it's not real. And they said here, like, this isn't real, but it's funny. It's like, all right, okay. This isn't the bit that I wanted to show you, right? It goes on, and they go on talking about basically what's happened between Gordon Ramsay and Miss Katie, and how Gordon Ramsay pretended he was like vegan or something like that. They did some kind of vegan for lunch thing, and Miss Katie did a video about him, made a song, and then he did a TikTok kind of thing with it, and then ate a burger and was like, called her a donut. And she responded with another song, right? And this is what she wrote here. These are the lyrics. The day that Gordon Ramsay duetted me, I fell to my knees and cried, shook my fist at non-existing God. Gordon laughed at the trillions that had died. She says the evil chef smirked at the Holocaust that animals are now dying through, instead of guiding his fans to watch Earthlings to learn what is really true. And yeah, basically you get the idea. And this article here, these Ag Daily guys are like, oh, she's comparing livestock farming to the Holocaust. It's like, no, she didn't. Unbelievably insulting. And it's egregiously disrespectful to those who actually endured the Holocaust. As if these fucking people, hold up for a second, and as if these fucking people give two shits about that. Their entire industry literally was copied by the Nazis for the camps to kill people, right? So, like, their industry inspired the Nazis, and they're going to really act all offended. Oh, it's so offensive. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Anyway, and it goes on. Many livestock farmers feel their careers are very misunderstood, and too many people don't know where their food comes from and don't understand all the work that goes into it. Blah, blah, blah. Woe is me. We're the victims. Blah, blah, blah. And then this is the bit that I wanted to show you guys. Now I can't put the sound on here because it'll get demonetized. YouTube might even remove it because of the sound, because it's some song, copyrighted song. But I'm gonna play this video. Now this is a video that Gordon Ramsay reposted on Twitter, TikTok, and it's a compilation of all farmers saying thank you to him, and he posted that they've said it here. This next video is sure to warm your heart or maybe bring a tear to your eye. Farmer TR Jones put it together to where Ramsay posted to his account and started the hashtag every chef needs a farmer. So let's check it out. Let's check this video out. I'm gonna do like a voiceover, okay? So you guys can get a bit of a flavor for what's going on here. So he's like, right now I'm out here. I just watched a video of you, Gordon Ramsay, responding to that vegan teacher. And it's really good. Gordon Ramsay, thank you, Gordon Ramsay. We love you, Gordon Ramsay. It's so hard out here being a farmer. Blah, blah, blah. Woe is me. Pity me. Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. You're the best. Yeah, you're just, so amazing. And you stood up for us. And you're just the best person. The vegan teacher's evil. And we need more Gordon Ramsay out there in the world. You just mean the world to us. And it touched my heart. It really touched my heart when I saw your stupid fucking tweet responding to that TikTok, responding to that vegan teacher. Blah, blah, blah. And it goes from him, and then it goes, thank you, Gordon Ramsay. Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. It's basically that all the way through this video. And this guy is like some famous TikToker. It is the most pathetic drivel, genuinely just pathetic drivel you'll ever see. Go and watch it. Like I don't need to, I did a stupid voiceover, but this is pretty much what they're saying. And he posted it with the caption, always standing behind farmers, grateful for the work they do and passion they have on a daily basis. Every chef needs a farmer. And you know what? Like he's not wrong. Every chef does need a farmer, but they don't need to, be killing animals and abusing animals. Farmers can be like plant farmers. You know what I mean? It's just this whole article it just made me laugh so much. It's just so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Written by this Michelle Miller, the farm babe, farmer, public speaker, and writer who has worked for years with row crops, beef, cattle, and sheep. Yeah, sounds like a lovely person. Oh, excuse me. So, oh my goodness, I'm stuck, guys. I'm choking. Anyway, it was just pathetic. All right, so that's story number one down. I just found it entertaining. I've got nothing more to say about it. It's just the ultimate cringe, especially that moment where they started to like virtue signal about the Holocaust. She said the Holocaust. Like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Right there. Next up, we have got another story, and this is actually kind of linked with that one. It's some more bullshit from people. This one's a bit different though. Check this out, right? Because this is like, no, this is not the best way to move veganism forward. And it's an article from, I don't know who the fuck, Refinery 29. I don't know who this is. Sarah King, no idea. So I read it because I thought, all right, no, this is not the best way to move veganism forward. Well, that sounds intriguing, doesn't it? So let's take a look. What is it saying? It's trigger warning. This article contains references to rape, slavery, racism, homophobia, and anti-Semitism. Oh God. So, where are we going with this? So it talks about the divide within movements and there's extremism, and talks about Jainism. So now, here's where I saw some warning signs, all right? It says here, Western veganism was established in 1944 with the founding of the Vegan Society. However, if we look eastwards, vegan principles are baked into cultural history, with vegetarianism appearing in India and Jainism as far back as the 8th century BC. I'm sorry, wait, what? You just said vegan principles and then referenced Jainism, vegetarianism. So it's clear that we're off to a bad start and that this person doesn't understand what veganism is and what vegetarianism is. And this is what got me thinking, this is going to be a bad article, isn't it? And it says, a few centuries later, Buddhist teachings not to eat meat or fish spread vegetarian cuisine far and wide across the Eastern world. Again, that's not vegan culture. That's not vegan principles. That is a diet. That's a vegetarian cuisine. It's not. So what the fuck are you talking about? It says it gathered steam. There's more vegans globally. So more people gain access to information, and 600,000 people in the UK have eaten a plant-based diet, vegan diet. And it's talking about there's been different opinions now, and people are getting divided. It's like, okay, then. Talks about the 1970s and people using violent confrontational methods, for example. And then it gets on to the bit where it's really, it was always going to get to, over the past year especially, as communities of marginalized people have seen their trauma played out on a global stage, several high-profile vegan activists and influencers have taken advantage using language associated with slavery, the Holocaust, and rape. Using language associated with slavery, the Holocaust, and rape. What do you mean language associated with it? They are language. Slavery is a word in the English language. Holocaust is a word in the English language. Rape is a word in the English language. They are what they are. What do you mean associated with them? It's as if this person's painting them as like they are specific events that have happened in history that you can't associate with. No, they are words in the English and all, all of the languages, and we use them to describe things that are happening. One person, again, Miss Katie's back, vegan teacher, had over 1 million followers before being removed from the platform after numerous complaints of homophobic, racist, anti-Semitic, and disablest comments. No, it was after numerous complaints from fucking 10-year-olds who just wanted her to be taken down from TikTok. But anyway, oh yeah, and she described coming out as vegan as much more special than coming out as LGBTQ+. Yeah, we talked about that already. You can check that out if you want to know why she said that. It's in one of our live streams basically. But yeah, she went through that. It talks about James Aspey, the usual bullshit all over again. Oh, she's here. Hi, Miss Katie. What's up? Yeah, it talks about James Aspey, the usual bullshit about him, talking about Holocaust and slavery, all that same crap all over again. And it talks about the Dominion organization, behind Dominion, speaking out and saying it's superficial and harmful, and just creates controversy to use these kinds of words, and they completely just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Threw us under the bus, like everyone under the bus, like by just taking the obvious fucking majority siding on this. It was pathetic by them, absolutely pathetic by them. But anyway. It goes on now. Here's the interesting part. Again, I put this up here because there's a very interesting part of it. Here we go. Many members of the vegan community are obviously keen to distance themselves from language of this kind, but many worry about the impact it will have on the growing community. London-based Indian British vegan influencer, and animal activist Moon Onyx Star focuses on spreading positivity and inspiration through her posts on Instagram. She says, "I feel as vegans, we need to be more sensitive about the kind of language we use. From my experience, the best way to drive the vegan movement forward has been to lead by example and share with people how amazing and important a vegan lifestyle is." All right, so we've got a quote from a vegan activist and influencer here. All right, a vegan activist and influencer that they put in this article. They found someone that's like, okay, someone to inspire, right? A vegan activist and influencer. So shall we take a look at who this person is? You guys want to take a look? Let's have a look. Why is it not letting me? There we go. All right. So this is Moon Onyx Star. Now, I've got nothing against this person. However, this is not a vegan activist page, is it? Guys, I mean, am I missing something here? Does this look like a vegan influencer activist or to you? Now, let me just say, I've not really been through this channel, right? But I'm just pointing out here, there's a little bit of a difference between what this person maybe considers as an activist and what the rest of us would consider. But okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's move forward. Another vegan influencer, Marta Kanga, lives in London and writes about sustainable vegan fashion and skincare and agrees. She says that such triggering language is problematic and counterproductive. I think it's incredibly offensive, and while I understand the need to highlight animal suffering, nowadays animals are killed for food. All right, so Marta is also against it, all right? So should we take a look at what what's going on with Marta's account, right? This is another vegan influencer, vegan activist account, all right? So let's take a look at this one. Come on, why are you not loading? Oh, that's weird. We're not getting any Instagram right now. It's not. It's just. Is Instagram working, guys? Have I missed something here? Instagram is not working, guys. Instagram is down. That's weird, isn't it? Is it all right? Anyway, all right. We'll move on. We'll move on. Anyway, that I can spoiler alert for you guys. Spoiler alert. That was another account that was not an activist account or a vegan influencer account. Spoiler alert. All right. Now I can't show you the others. I don't know why Instagram's being weird. But basically, none of these people are actually fucking activists. All right. None of them are actually ethical vegans. They're all just talking about plant-based diets and fashion and fucking shit like that. And they've been quoted one after another as people who are like, oh, the Holocaust, they say these words is bad. There's this shit. When vegan activists appropriate language from other communities' traumas, it not only causes more pain, but also further isolates marginalized groups, both within and outside veganism. What the fuck are you talking about? Appropriate language from other communities' traumas. What planet do you fucking live on? What is this language that people are using? What is this even? What is this shit? Appropriate language? Like, fuck. So if you... it's fucking insane. It's like humans can be victims of a Holocaust. Non-humans can be victims of a Holocaust. Humans can be victims of rape. Non-humans can be victims of rape. Humans can be victims of slavery. Non-humans can be victims of slavery. You don't appropriate language. You don't appropriate trauma. What are you fucking talking about? This language is absolute nonsense. Absolutely nonsensical. And it doesn't cause more pain. So what, every time the History Channel shows a documentary about the fucking Holocaust, is that more people like, who never actually experienced it, we're talking the families of, are they in physical pain? Like, no, we need to keep talking about these things, right? Separate note. We need to keep talking about things that happen so we remind ourselves and tell everybody not to do it again. And we use these words to describe what happens to others, to remind people that, look, this has happened before. It's happening now. It's very similar. We need to stop doing it. We're repeating the mistakes of the past, aren't we? It's fucking traumas. God, I'm so sick of this bullshit. And then anyway, it goes on. The fact that lots of the top vegan influencers in the UK are white only adds to the narrative that veganism is an elitist white movement. What the? Oh, so wait, what's that? Wait. In a country where the majority of the population is white and vegans make up a very small minority of that population, you're surprised that the biggest influencers are also white. What did you think that in a minority group within a country where there are, let me just get this straight, right? The majority of people in England are white, right? And a very small minority of the population of England are vegan. And you expected that fraction of the population to be what? Majority people who aren't white? In a country where the majority of people are white? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It is just logical to expect that if you go to fucking China, right? And are you expecting the top vegan influencers to be white or Mexican? Or are you expecting them to be Chinese, right? What are you expecting? Obviously, you expect them to be Chinese. So why, when you go to England, where the majority of people are white, are you expecting that the top influencers aren't white? It doesn't add up. It doesn't compute. Make it make fucking sense. Or am I missing something, guys? Am I missing something here, right? You can tell me if I'm missing a big glaring, obvious point here that's like, oh, David, you've really overlooked this. You should look at, just fucking tell me, because I'm just trying to understand it. All right. And anyway, as Vegan Something just pointed out in the chat, yes, veganism exists beyond Instagram. Maybe the biggest Instagrammers and YouTubers that are vegan happen to be white or guys like Earthling Yed or Joey or whatever, but that is just on social media. Social media isn't real life. People exist, influencers exist outside of social media. Some of the most influential people in the animal rights movement aren't influential on social media. They're influential face to face. And I can tell you from experience, the vast majority of those people are actually women. The vast majority of the people who are influencing on the ground actions, vigils, all the rescues, all the stuff on the ground, AV, cubes, whatever, outreach, are women. So, social media isn't life and you need to fucking get over it. God, I'm dropping some F bombs today, right? I'm dropping some serious F bombs. Anyway, mainstream veganism, sometimes referred to as white veganism, neglects vegans of color, perpetuating the myth that veganism was invented by white people and ignoring the roots of the movement in Buddhism, Jainism, Rastafarianism, and the Black Hebrew Israelite community. Oh my god. Oh my god. See, this is where like you conflate the word neglect with indifference. Neglect is like when you neglect someone and you neglect something, you like you harm it. Like you neglect your child, you will get put in prison. You neglect your animal in your care, you will get put in prison. So it's like by not talking about Buddhism, Jainism, Rastafarianism, or the Black Hebrew Israelite community, that isn't neglect. It's not like they are suffering because you don't talk about them. It's just that, and you, it's like white vegans are going around going like, white vegans created veganism. No one's fucking saying that. These, fucking morons, man. Oh my goodness. All right. And it just kind of rounds up there, basically. With nothing more to show you on that. But oh, what a joke, that is. This is such a joke of an article. And again, I put it up here for entertainment value. But hey, guys, tune in on Sunday. I've got a great live stream coming up with VegSeps. VegSeps is this awesome activist and great YouTuber, 17 years old, and he's smashing out some sick content, really powerful content. Can't wait to get him on. We are going to discuss the most racist vegans on the internet. You probably have an idea of who it already is, like the kind of community, the group that it already is. But yeah, we're going to be getting into that. It's very similar to kind of the group that we're talking about right now. But we'll get into that on Sunday. Don't miss it on Sunday. It's going to be at 4 p.m. GMT right here. It's going to be I'm really excited to have him on and get into this, get deep into this topic because it's one that I'm very passionate about and very interested in getting into. Now, guys, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but I'm noticing a severe lack of super chats and Streamlabs contributions. I thought telling you guys I'll do any story you want me to do, like any story related to animal rights and veganism, so long as you drop it into a super chat or a Streamlabs. I thought you guys would be on that. I thought you'd love it. But I guess maybe I misjudged it. But if you are enjoying the stream, guys, then drop in a super chat, drop in a Streamlabs contribution, because help me out, guys. This is how I earn a living. So help me with that. Help me do more of this. Support if you can, and if you enjoy the stream, help me make more videos by supporting the stream, guys. And suggest some news topics. If you want me to cover a news story you've seen and you want me to cover it, drop it in. The next story, guys, is not so fun. I warned you at the beginning that there's some shit in here that is a bit like, oh God. This is one of those moments, all right? This is like an icky moment. It's icky, guys. I hope you're prepared. And this is actually, I actually have to give you a bit of a warning, actually, because we're going to get into something that's quite horrible, that some people might actually have experience of it happening to them. So just to warn you, it might bother you. All right, so we're gonna jump in and talk about this story. Now, there was I almost don't want to talk about this. It's a little bit, it's a bit too far for me. But look, I'm gonna do it anyway because it's important that we talk about this. So check this out. So there is in Edinburgh, in Scotland, an animal rights extremist, they're saying, look at this headline, was caught with a horde of, I'm not going to say the words because YouTube might get upset with this, but yeah, of that, all right? And also murder films. Like, this is pretty disgusting, right? And look at what they've said. I want you to obviously now, just before we get into this, the reason I'm covering this is because it's animal rights activism related. Like, the person is being listed as an animal rights activist. I don't want to repeat myself multiple times. What this person did is, there's no words to describe it. It's absolutely disgusting what this person was in possession of, and they've avoided jail, but they should have got jail. All right. Now, what I want to talk to you about is how they've reported this. Now, look at this. Depraved animal rights extremist, they called him. Perverted animal rights activist. Look at the language there, right? Now, with that language, what would you be thinking right now? Would you be thinking this guy is an activist, like an actual, like, you know, someone like making content like me, or maybe someone on the streets or someone? You would think that this person is actually a current animal rights activist. And I did it too. I was like, oh my God, where is this guy? You know, what community is he working with? What groups is he working with? This is fucked up. I want to know. Let's take a look. Why did they call him depraved animal rights activist and perverted animal rights activist? Why were they calling him these things, right? Well, this is the guy. And just first of all, like, I need to just say something, guys. All right, I need to say something about this dude. I don't want to be mean and I don't want to be judgmental, but if anyone was going to come out to be someone who would have these kinds of images and videos on their computer, it would be this fucking guy, wouldn't it? I'm sorry, guys. I am sorry. I, I can't explain why I think that. I just saw this picture and I was like, I'm not surprised, right? And that is so mean, because there are people out there that probably look like this, that probably they don't do that. But I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. I had to say it. Now, look at this. It turns out dude's 54. He had that horrible shit on his computer, right? And look at the kind of shit he had. Absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm not reading it out because honestly, it's just horrible, right? And now, where's the animal rights part coming in, right? So far, we've read about what he's done, okay? What he's been searching for. Obviously, disgusting piece of shit. But and you can go read this yourself if you want to actually see what he did. But where's the animal rights bit? You know, where is it? Did I scroll past it already? Let me find it 1 second, because there's a reason I'm bringing this up here. They've talked about him being an animal rights extremist a few times, but here it is. Right. Why is he an animal rights extremist, guys? Well, in 1995, okay, guys, 1995, he got jailed for 3 years for alleged property damage and conspiracy to send a hoax bomb to Glaxo Wellcome public relations officer Karen Gardner. Glaxo was their animal testing. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's why they called him an animal rights extremist, animal rights pervert. Because in 1995, he was involved in the animal rights community and did some shit and was jailed for 3 years. I just want to repeat that one more time. 1995, guys. How is that relevant in 2021? Guys, how is that relevant in 2021? And this is a prime example, this headline, a prime example of what Miss Katie, that vegan teacher, she calls it vegan phobia, right? And what it is has been studied as by sociologists is vegophobia. They actually looked at the media in the UK to show how veganism and animal rights are represented in the media, to show that there's actually is a problem, right? And there is a problem with it because this shit gets out. They associated this disgusting, like the worst of society, right? Like an absolute scumbag. I can't even, there's no words to describe this guy, right? I don't have them. Absolute fucking scumbag. And they connected him with animal rights. Because why? Animal rights is popular now. Animal rights is in. So they connect this guy with it and they put it out there and they try to make animal rights activists people that are considered extremists. Like some people would call me an extremist. Some people would call Joey Carbstrong an extremist or whatever, you know, Tash Vegan Booty, Tash Peterson, or they would consider Miss Katie an extremist. And they try to associate us with this kind of scumbag. And it just pissed me off, guys. It pissed me off. So be aware, look, be aware of this shit. Be aware of this shit. When somebody, like, is angry at you when you talk to them about veganism in the street, imagine, or you're trying to outreach them or whatever, and they seem angry with you, like, and you can't understand why they're angry, it's most likely because of shit like that. It's most likely because At one point, they read this, they made a connection in their head because of this bullshit, and then they never considered it properly, right? And then they talk to you and they just remember that, oh, the animal rights, the vegan, they're like this guy and this guy got off jail, so I'm pissed off with these people now, and they take it out on you. Just try and remember that, and point it out to people and talk to them how the media fucks with their heads, and make them aware of it, and if all you get out of the conversation with someone is that they become aware of how the media is messing with them, then that's a result, because then they'll be more likely to listen in the future when they see vegan messages and like, oh, wait a minute, the media pushed this anti-vegan message on me, but I don't buy that bullshit. It's good that we can wake people up to this fucking nonsense. We really can. It's just, yeah. Oh god, 1995, man. Unbelievable, guys, unbelievable. Next story's also a bit on the dark side. It's one disgusting, not a bit, it is on the dark side. It's from one disgusting piece of shit to some other disgusting pieces of shit, guys. I'm going to warn you. But this is something that I think we're more used to dealing with, all right? Now, I am getting email notifications from whatpoultry.com. This is the website that you may have seen them before on my channel. I get email notifications from them, and then I go and read what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of the time, they're talking about avian flu, which is spreading rapidly. They're talking about fires in some of their industry, buildings and shit like that. So you get a lot of interesting stuff, and also they're talking about how to like make their systems more effective, and from time to time something comes up that I'm like, oh, this is nasty. So let's check this out. All right, the title of this article: How Hatcheries Can Be Ready for Animal Welfare Audits. Okay, that's the title of this article: How Hatcheries Can Be Ready for Animal Welfare Audits. Now, what is an audit? For those of you that don't know what this is, an audit is when someone comes in, an inspector comes in to check the system, to check how things are going in there, and they can pass them or fail them. Now, if they fail them, they're fucked, and they've got to spend a load of money on upgrading everything, and they might have to shut the building and close everything down. But if they pass them, they can carry on working in the hatcheries. Hatcheries are where they hatch chickens for the egg industry, usually. Like they want to hatch the female chicks so they can send them to the egg industry, and they will kill the male chicks. This is what these places are, all right? So let's take a look. How can you pass one of these audits with one of these inspectors? So it goes through some basic stuff like employee training, plans for disaster response, have an alarm system. But it gets interesting about here. Don't allow chicks to drop from a height of more than 12 inches. Now, I thought this is very interesting. I never knew they had this. So they said if you don't want to drop them from a height of more than 12 inches, it usually would happen between belt transitions. What that means is when they're transitioning from one belt to another, the belts that move, and they drop them down and drop them down. This is how they separate them, all right? So it says it may not seem like 12 inches is that high, but if you think of a chick being 2 to 3 inches tall, 12 inches is more than 4 times their height. If a human who is 6 feet tall, a 24-foot fall would hurt pretty badly, and they're saying that this is kind of like the comparison they're making. So yeah, they're saying that's one thing. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. That's nothing really too dramatic or anything at this point, but it goes on. Written programs, all right, and then this popped up. Only use AVMA euthanasia methods. Now this is saying that the American Veterinary Medical Association approved only certain methods for what they call euthanasia. Now, let's be clear, this is not euthanasia, because euthanasia is what you do to someone when they need to die because they're in pain and you can't save them, right? This is killing. This isn't euthanasia. So, what are they doing here? It says, normally, that will be mechanical maceration. Those of you who have seen the chickens going into a big machine that is spinning with things spinning, and it's called a macerator. It chops them up into little pieces, right? And people don't believe us when we tell them this is standard practice. Well, this is from whatag.net telling these people who breed the chickens how to get rid of the male chicks, all right? This is real. This isn't some vegan bullshit. This is from their website, all right? So it says, if that method is being used, an auditor will usually examine and listen to the macerator to make sure it is functioning as it should. There are other approved methods, such as deprivation of oxygen by other gases. Make sure that process is done correctly. Um, and it says the one thing that will guarantee an audit failure is if the auditor sees a live chick in your waste stream. And it's important to record the number of culls done. All these euphemisms, euthanasia, cull, you know, deprivation of oxygen by gases. It's like, wait, do you mean like putting them in a gas chamber and gassing them like they do with pigs? So they do the similar thing with the chickens. They use all these euphemisms because, as we said earlier, remember right at the beginning, Ag Daily was upset about the comparison to, not even Miss Katie wasn't comparing what happens to the animals to the Holocaust. She was saying it is a Holocaust. But even if you wanted to compare it to the Holocaust, you fucking can. They are gassing animals to kill them because they don't see them as profitable. They don't see them as useful. That is almost exactly what was going on in the Holocaust, gassing humans. You see? So it is comparable. So when they fake this, oh, we're so offended. You're gassing chickens. You're gassing pigs. You fucks. How can you not? Of course it's a fucking valid comparison. It goes on, evaluate them once per day. So they apparently need to evaluate 1,000 chicks per day as the shipments go out. Temperature. This one got me. The plan to retrieve loose chicks. Listen to this. Have a written program in place to retrieve loose chicks on the floor. It should be implemented at a minimum of when you do a flock change, and it can be more often. This is important not only for the health and safety of the chick, but also for the safety of the employees, as chicks on the floor can be a tripping hazard. I couldn't believe I was reading that. A fucking tripping. That's what you talk about? Really? A chick is like... these people really see these animals as just nothing, don't they? They're just nothing. Like you would call a baby chick, a tripping hazard. Can you ever imagine that? Can you imagine referring to a baby animal as a Hey, watch out there. You've got a tripping hazard. There's a baby animal on the floor. Watch out you don't trip. No, watch out you don't fucking kill them. They're a baby animal. These people are disgusting. Fucking disgusting. This was disgusting. And that, again, guys, that is from whatpoultry.com. All right, look, the website's right there. This is not vegan propaganda. This is not vegan bullshit. Like, oh, I've made this sound worse. I read it straight from their website. This is an industry internal communication for people trying to figure out how to pass their audit. It's not something I've made up. It's not something vegans make up. Whew. Fuckers, huh? Absolute fuckers. Next story, we're going to talk about PETA's doing some interesting work right now. They have put up some new advertisements with Pamela Anderson, right? And the interesting thing about this is where they've put them. Check this out. They've put them up. I love this. It's so cheeky, but it's so good. They've put them up near Subway, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Wendy's, Hardee's, McDonald's, Taco John's, Five Guys, Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, Applebee's, and many other meat-serving eateries and animal product-centric eateries across a couple of cities in the USA. Is it just one city? I don't know. A couple of cities. And the actual ad they've put up. So I'm going to show you now what they've put up over these places or near these places. Just load it up for you. This is the ad. You can see it says it's meat and dairy farms drain half the country's water. Try vegan Pamela Anderson for PETA. And it's got Pam Anderson doing that kind of famous psycho scene. And it's definitely eye-catching, right? It's definitely an eye-catching ad. They focused on the environmental side of things, which, it's whatever gets people in the door, right? Whatever gets people's foot in the door, whatever works to get them interested, get them intrigued, and then we do the work after that, right? For me personally, I see this and I think it's great. I think it's very eye-catching. I think Pamela Anderson's good at doing this kind of thing where she's she's famous. Pamela Anderson's famous because of, I mean, she's used her body and her looks, right, to gain notoriety. This is how she became famous. Obviously, she's an actress, but I mean, look, she knows it, and everyone knows it. Like, a lot of her appeal as an actress, and even still now, is her looks, is her appearance, and she's used that for her entire career. a lot of people would criticize Pamela Anderson and criticize Peter for this ad, and they, I'm sure they have been, Now, like, what do you guys think about this? Do you have a problem with this ad? Do you think this ad is what a lot of people would say to be objectifying women? Do you think that's bad? Do you think that that's like that's what it's doing? It's objectifying Pamela Anderson and the female body to promote, veganism, or do you think that she has the right to do what she wants with her body, and Peter working with her and doing this is a good thing? What do you think? What do you think here? Which side are you on? For me personally, look, I don't understand the narrative that comes along with this. Every time Pamela Anderson does something like with her body, or even just any vegans, basically vegan, especially females, they go out and they use their bodies to promote veganism, animal rights, and they obviously consent. I mean, clearly, there's a debate that happens. I don't understand how before feminism, before women's rights, before feminism, women were actually not even allowed to show the skin, right? Like it was frowned upon. Women would have to cover up in the West, right? And after the kind of I don't know what you call it, they call it sexual revolution, right? Basically, where women, it took hold of their sexuality and got rights, and it became more acceptable so socially for women to do, wear whatever the fuck they want, right? And I don't understand why now, where we're in this position where women can and do whatever they want practically, without kind of, well, there was laws, I believe, even, and it was very socially unacceptable, and now it isn't. Now it's socially far more acceptable across the Western world, thanks to the work of great feminists and women's rights activists. I don't understand why these people, feminists, then revert on themselves and go back and say, oh, no, we shouldn't do that now. It's like, so wait, you gave women like Pamela Anderson the ability to use their body for good and do what she wants with her body, and now she's doing it. You want to take it back and tell her she shouldn't do it now? You want to regress? Thank you so much, Slightly Crazy Vegan, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And yes, I agree with you. She's a consenting woman. She can do what she decides with wants to do with her own body, and she can show how much she wants to show. And I really don't get this backwards mentality of like, modern feminism says you shouldn't do that. It's like, so not all modern feminism, but some modern feminists, vegan modern feminists, they're saying that like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. So you're telling another woman what they should do or shouldn't do with their body. Isn't that the opposite of feminism? Isn't that the opposite of everything you've been fighting to achieve? You want to go back to a world where people can tell women what they should and shouldn't wear because you don't think it's like effective or appropriate or whatever. I don't get it. It really boggles the mind here. Like, okay, you fought so hard to give Pamela Anderson the right to do this, and then now she's doing it. You're fighting to take it back again and say, make her feel ashamed of using her body for animal rights. And this is vegans that are doing this. This is vegans. Like, I'm not talking about like, anti-vegans who just being dickheads. Like, actual vegans are like, oh, she's using her body. She shouldn't do that. It's objectifying. It's like, but if she's letting people objectify her, like, she has chosen to do that. It's a choice that she made. She knows that some people are going to see this and get horny or whatever. She understands that a lot of people objectify her. What is she supposed to do? Pretend it's not happening? Ignore it? Or do what she is doing and use it to her advantage, use it to the advantage to do good? That's her call, not yours, right? I believe it's no one's call but her own. Anyway, bit of female empowerment for you in the middle of the live stream. I hope you like it. Guys, that's my last story. It's been really nice to have you all here. You guys have been really active in the chat. I've noticed I've had a good amount of people watching throughout the whole thing as well. This has been really cool. So listen, Sunday, make sure you get here for Sunday. All right, Sunday is going to be a good interview, a good stream with VegSeps. As I said, 17-year-old activist out in the USA with some very interesting opinions that I'm really impressed by. not to patronize him, but like 17, I wasn't I wasn't saying anything of note at 17. Trust me, I was an absolute dickhead. So I'm really impressed with how mature he is for 17. He's actually got some really interesting videos up, and I'm really pumped to go into some of these videos with him. So make sure you jump in on Sunday. It's going to be Sunday at, forgot the time. Wait, what's the time going to be? 4 p.m. GMT. 4 p.m. GMT. Get right back here, 4 p.m. GMT on Sunday for that live stream. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this, make sure to smash that like button right now. And if you enjoy these streams in general, make sure to join the Patreon team, guys, and become a Patreon team member. You'll get access to some awesome exclusive content and previews of new videos, which I'm going to be doing more and more of. I'm going to be putting out more content, giving you guys previews in the Patreon team. And if you do join today, the Patreon team, guess what? Tomorrow, I'm having an exclusive team chat with the Patreon team. So that means we're going to get into a chat together in the Discord. We're going to have a literal voice chat with just me and the Patreon team. I really love doing this and connecting really on a one-to-one basis, so like really close, more intimate, more personal. We can get to know each other a little bit more. I really enjoy it. So definitely, guys, join up today, and you'll be able to join that tomorrow. Thank you so much, Slightly Crazy Vegan. I'm going to put that up again. I just missed it. Objectifying is not when a woman decides to look sexy, is when someone refers to a woman as an object, like she's a town bike. For example, yes, it is true. And some people will look at Pam Anderson and say that, and they'll say that because they'll say, well, she's trying to look sexy, so I'm going to make her into like my sex object. But what I'm trying to say is Pam Anderson is aware of that and uses that to her own advantage. And she has the right to do that, just as any woman or man or whatever you identify as has the right to do that. Yep. So yeah, Patreon link is in the description, and it'll be in the pinned comment as well. So guys, click it, join the Patreon team, join me for that Patreon team chat tomorrow. I'm really excited to do it. And one more time, get over, click the reminder for Sunday's live stream. In fact, you know what I'm going to do before I go, guys? I'm going to give you the link to it right here so you don't miss Sunday's live stream. There's still 70 of you hanging on, even though you know I'm finishing up. I appreciate that. It's really nice that you're just chilling, allowing me to just breathe and just, take it as we go. If you hold on for one more second, I'll give you some links that are gonna make life a little bit easier for you. So just hold on, guys. Hold right on. All right, here you go. Oh shit! No, wait up. Eesh. All right, here we go. Here's the link to tomorrow's live stream. There you go. So get over there and definitely get on that. Set your reminder, like it already, so it starts getting in people's, in the algorithm. I really appreciate it, guys, if you hit that like button and get over there now and do that. And set the reminder. YouTube really likes that. And here's the link to the Patreon. As I said, one more time, just going to really hammer this point home. If you join the Patreon today, you will be able to come tomorrow to the team chat. And I'd love that, because then I get to meet you like straight away as soon as you join as a patron, and that's just really cool. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I enjoyed this. I really like doing these lives on the Fridays, these chill ones. This is going to be unlisted, all right? So if you want to share it with somebody, you're going to need to get the link now or get the link from the community tab, but it will not be public on my channel. It will only be unlisted, so only you will get to see it, and you'll be able to share it with other people as well if you're fancying that, if you feel like that. See you all on Sunday.